Hey everyone, welcome to the Spelunky Daily for the 21st of October. A little bit different today because I'm not playing the game right now. I've already played it, I've recorded it. I wasn't sure at the time whether I'd be able to do a proper recording, and so I just decided to flick on the recording, which I don't normally do, just in case the run was interesting, and the run turned out to be very interesting. Without spoiling it now, nothing too wild happens, but there's a lot of really close calls, and it was interesting doing a daily with no distractions. So, I'm not having to think about what I'm saying as I'm doing it. And so I thought it would be fun to put this one up anyway, and also do kind of a post commentary, which I, never get a chance to do. I have been playing lots of the dwellings lately, like I was saying in yesterday's daily, and I think that's generally made me better at it. I thought this box might break open and reveal its contents, but apparently that's not how it works. If the box gets crushed, it's just like it doesn't exist anymore, basically, which is a shame. I contemplate whether to rope here, but it's 5,000 gold, and in the end I decided I would definitely rope for 3 bombs, for instance, and that's like about 5,000 gold. So even though this is not quite the same because it's also taking on risk, I did decide to rope for the ghost urn in the end. That was a really unfortunate loss of life. That one was very lucky to escape. There are a lot of near misses in this video. I am extremely lucky at times. Do the old juggling. It didn't feel like I was near the exit at this point, but I was really glad to see it there. And then look at this patience, putting the urn down, not being stupid with the snake. It did feel like that was also an unnecessary risk there. It did feel like a very different run, like not talking while doing it. I do play. I'm still playing it a bunch on my own, like non-dailies, but there's something different about a daily. Like Andy Nealon says, like he always plays more focused on the daily, and I used to, but it is much harder when you're talking at the same time. But I really enjoy it, so I'd much rather fail miserably and do the commentaries. Okay, so I see the key here, which is pretty great because we've already seen the top level, so there's no areas of the level that we've missed. And then this configuration here is really interesting because it only takes a rope to get by it, because the rope will trigger both traps, and then you can push the block out at the bottom. But I decided not to do it because if you scroll back, you can see that it doesn't lead to a particularly promising looking chunk. Unfortunately, there's a shop here as well. The shop has great stuff in it, but that also means that I can't get through here either, which increases the odds of not being able to find the Ujjayi at all. Which, spoiler alert, as we will see, is exactly what happens. But not having the Ujjayi isn't... it's not such a big deal because... I mean, I was very proud of that throw there, just completely disposing of the caveman. I bombed for this to get the pug, which I think was a good idea. And also because there was a small chance that the Ujjayi cave was possible here. Unfortunately, it's up there, and I think about whether I could bomb through, but I decide correctly not to bother. So we just take the pug, and we head on out. Oh yeah, we don't head on out yet. This is really important. So this is one of the most important things I do in the whole run, is I go back for the paste. And those 2 purchases end up basically making the rest of this video possible. So I'm often not super efficient, but I was very proud of the dwellings run this time. So my throat's actually a little bit dry because I spent a large portion of today being interviewed for a thing that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about, but it was very fun, but it was also really tiring because it was a similar kind of thing to this where you're talking for hours on end while also doing loads of mental work at the same time. I was originally going to drop the pug there, but there were so many arrow traps that I decided I had to drop something down. Yang's turkey thing is really odd. The reward is really underwhelming. This is another really lucky miss there. The reward is pretty underwhelming, and you need to find both turkeys for it. If it was just one, another unbelievably lucky miss. If it was just one, it would kind of be okay. I got really freaked out here because I know that the shopkeeper can attack enemies, but you don't see it happen very often, and I really wasn't sure if he was aggroed. But fortunately not. More ropes. Always good. And so this is kind of unprecedented for me. We got 6 health, 15 bombs, even like a decent amount of ropes. This little caveman on his turkey. Now I believe today was a volcano day, but in the end I decided to go to jungle. And the reason was that because it's cool that I make a stupid mistake here by bombing him. I don't even know why I did it. I only realized afterwards that it would just mean I had to bomb through the walls, but it's not a big deal. So because the only item I have is the paste, even though the resources that I've got are quite good, the paste is less useful in Volcano because you don't really get as much of a chance to bomb through walls because the lava's everywhere. So whereas in jungle, being able to bomb very precisely through walls is super useful. It's useful for the black market. Even if you don't have the Ucha eye, you might see like the edge of the doors. It's useful for like bombing out the spike walls and all kinds of stuff, bypassing witch doctors. So I don't know how I got away with that, by the way. I don't know if you saw that, but I dropped down right in front of the lizard. I think it must have been as his AI cycle procced to move him or something. But I dropped down right in front of him and he did not roll. So yet more lucky misses. So yeah, I do decide to go to the jungle. Also because there's I don't want to get too much into the secrets, although I will tell you now, well, this run goes quite deep. So if you want to avoid spoilers for later in Spelunky, don't watch it. But there are like secrets on Volcano and Jungle, and you don't need the eye to get either of them. But this one felt more plausible. So this is a really sticky situation. This is the second most crucial, or maybe the most crucial thing that happens in the whole run. So there I think that I'm dead because I think that rock is going to bump me into the spike trap, but fortunately I get away with it. So basically I decide that I really, really want this boomerang. And I spend so much time trying to get the boomerang because like the exit's already here. So I've kind of already decided I'm going to bomb through just because I really don't like the look of the surrounding areas. And this boomerang, it turns out to be MVP. I will warn you, it does take me a while to get the boomerang, but it's worth it in the end. So the tricky thing here is, first of all, getting rid of these two, but also you can't pick up an item that's in a spider web. You just full stop. It has to be completely on the ground. So I had to dispose of both of them and get rid of the spider web so that I could pick it up. But I've got it now. Got my boomerang friend. Still got 10 bombs, which is great. One thing, and I used to do this in Spelunky HD a lot as well, is once I get to areas I'm less confident in, I start to play really cautiously. So especially here where I don't have any items, it's, I don't have like a jetpack or a shotgun or anything to help me get through some of these encounters. So what you'll see is I spend a lot more time bombing. I completely freak out here. The witch doctors are probably the scariest enemy in the first few worlds because they can just completely end a run. But I forgot I had sticky bombs, as I often do, so it took me 3 bombs to get rid of that guy. get rid of him I did, and I even retrieved my trusty boomerang. And we're out. So the thing I was saying was that I begin to play a bit more cautiously, in some ways at least, and what that tends to mean is that you also then don't like collect as many resources because you're not exploring because you're playing cautiously. So it becomes a kind of vicious cycle, but it also is, I think, the best way to like familiarize yourself with places you haven't been yet. So in a little while, I'm going to get to the tidal pools, and I've been to the tidal pools like maybe 5 or 6 times, but there's still a lot in that world that I don't understand. So playing cautiously is kind of boring, but it's helping me learn the game at least. I was pretty convinced I was going to die here because the monkeys are bad on their own, but these plants are kind of killer, and the way that they're placed was very worrying. Like, that was pure luck, because I panicked there with the spikes, and I was just complete luck. Right, I have no idea what's going on here, but I'm also, again, very, very scared this shopkeeper's been aggroed. He's just kind of standing there, and I figure if he hated me, he would already have shot at me. So I'm like inching my way into the shop. But there's nothing there that I want. So, almost at the end of jungle. Just one level left. You can see we've racked up a load of gold. That mosquito flew right into the trap. The gold's a problem because I don't have the eye, I can't find the entrance to the black market easily. And so I'm kind of waiting on shops, but because of the thing I just said to you about playing cautiously, you're not exploring the levels so much, and so you're less likely to find shops where they exist anyway. So it's good for score on a daily, but it's not good for much else. You can also see here that I've got the compass. The compass shows you where the exit is by marking it with a red arrow. But because of the way secret levels work on Spelunky, we know that the black market is in this level, for example, because there are 2 exits marked. One is the normal exit that we're going to take, and the other is the black market exit that you would find after leaving. But I'm not too fussed about that. I kind of just want to get out alive and make it past Olmec. So this is really hard to decide what to do. There's 2 witch doctors there. They're both very dangerous. I could bomb through here, but I only have 7 bombs, so we're getting to the point where there really aren't many bombs left, and there's some tough stuff coming up. So this is very dangerous what I'm about to do, but I realize there is a vine to the right, so I jump on spikes to other spikes without getting punished for it, and then decide to come down this way. So this is also very dangerous because if the boomerang guy hits me, or if the witch doctors see me, I'm probably also dead, but just get out in time. So, Olmec. Thank you, Tom, for giving me the good strats to get rid of him. I still haven't quite perfected. Every time I do it, it ends the same way. So it starts out correctly. So you'll see that I'm baiting him into like a very wide cup. And then just no matter how hard I try, it inevitably ends up with me having 1 block of space left. It's just like I just get spooked and I move a little bit earlier and then a little bit earlier. There you go. So now I've just got 1 tiny block of space keeping me safe. But we're almost there. Hey. I have gone to the other world that is available here once, but that's super duper scary, too scary to do for dailies. So we decide to go for tidal pools. I did pop in here because I've got loads of gold, and I thought for a little while about getting this, but I just felt fine with what I had really, and adding in any of the packs really is kind of dangerous anyway, so I decided to opt against it. I think I got a little bit lucky. I mean, it's the daily, so I guess we all got lucky, but I got a little bit lucky with the exact nature of the tidal pools, because it felt like one of the easier tidal pools that I'd been through. I thought about getting the pug here, but the boomerang is so good, and I still have 8 health, so I just figured, like, why worry? But yeah, as you'll see, like the the tidal pools have a lot of scary stuff in them, and in general, I don't really encounter a lot of it. There's a couple of close encounters with the squid type things. One of the things you just saw me kill. And there's loads of these, I forget their name, but they're kind of zombies. But in general, I felt like I kind of got off easy, which might explain why I got as deep as I did. Was tempted to do this. I'd never done it before, and I noticed it was a lot more expensive than the earlier ones. So I decided against it just in case there was something funky or weird. Also, at this point, like, certainly gold isn't going to help me. I thought, maybe I find like a shotgun or something, but to be honest, the boomerang is just good. It's just a great weapon. I think it's one of my favorite items in Spelunky 2, especially because, like, it's not like the most powerful item, but when you compare like a trade-off of how likely you are to find one, it's very easy to obtain, and it's very effective. It does a lot of damage. It's quite reliable. You can fire it at different angles. It's just a really, really good item. So we're going to hold on to it. I really love these doors and switches. I think that's a really cool addition. There's actually something similar in Rogue Process. I think it adds an interesting kind of... It provides like a certain amount of focus on the current space that you're in, which I really like, and I like that other things can trigger them. I think that's really cool as well. But as you can see, like, it's pretty empty, right? There's just there's quite a lot of spikes, and I almost fall into lava there. But we're already on the 3rd level of tidal pool, and sorry, the 4th level of tidal pool, and very little has happened. Now this level gets a little bit hairier, if I remember right. Gonna drop down here and do another one of these locks. And like, this is the kind of space where some kind of boots upgrade would be lovely. Like, just something either to help you fight better or help you jump better, just anything. Would have really loved a boots upgrade, but that's fine. So now we're on to ice caves. I really like the way that they've changed ice caves for Spelunky 2. I think it's really clever, and it really makes the experience different. It's a much more interesting way to punctuate the game. So I've only been here once before, so we're already very deep into the game for me. And the last time I came, I had a jetpack. So if you've not played this level before, the way it works is it's much, much taller than the normal Spelunky level, and there is a huge gap in the middle with nothing in it. And the upshot of this is that if you don't have particular items, what you need to do is what I'm about to do, which is to go into the back of the level and traverse this kind of dangerous area. If you have something like a jetpack, you can just sort of fly down in the main section of the level, but I don't have anything today. I just have some bombs and a boomerang. So I had to come in here for the first time. I kind of knew what was in here because when I had the jetpack, I came in from the opposite direction. And I immediately left again after I saw what was in here. So at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to get insta-locked. I lose 3 health here. I think what saved me was that I'd killed one of the Yetis above with a bomb, and so there wasn't as much ice falling down. And so after I'd been hit 3 times, I think they ran out of ice, which was, again, amazingly lucky. And I get the spike shoes. The spike shoes means you don't slide on ice. I would guess they are always here as like a thematic item. But either way, they were a godsend here. And you can see I desperately don't want to get too close to that Yeti. The Yetis throw you if you touch them, and that is normally death, especially if you bounce off a wall and back to them and they throw you again. So I was trying to be super duper careful there, and here was even more restraint. For me, this is a huge amount of restraint. I rope here. I don't even risk falling down. So we're really just playing as safe as possible because I desperately want to get like a good run and maybe even get somewhere I've never been before. That was very stupid. I knew it was stupid when I did it. I almost aggroed that shopkeeper. So now we're in World 6. This is as far as they've ever been. I've been in World 6 once for about 10 seconds. I was poisoned and I immediately died. So everything here is terrifying and I don't know what any of it does. I got killed by one of these electric things, and even then I didn't understand what they were. I think at this moment I realized they're like orbiting this central thing. I then realized you can ride on these as lifts. They're actually not going to kill me. Then I realized they actually will kill me. And there's several like extremely near misses with these lifts. And that's the kind of thing where like if I was commentating that live, I for sure would have been dead. So I've got 4 bombs left. I make quite a difficult decision to bomb through here. It's going to take 3 bombs, which is a lot, and this is only the first level, so it's unlikely that, you know, I'm going to be able to do this trick for the rest of this world. But it was kind of worth it because I don't know what any of this shit does, and I didn't want to ruin my daily to find out. Now, I mean, I'm just freaking out at this point. Like, I don't know what any of these things do. I throw my boomerang at it, I jump on it, nothing happens. This little critter here is actually just like scenery, I think. It's like the fireflies or the dung beetles, but I'm so afraid of it, I just make sure I boomerang it before I go any further. I then make another crucial mistake. I didn't really see another option, but as soon as I pressed the button, I knew what was going to happen. I boomeranged the UFO. The UFO explodes. It releases the lava, and now I'm like, okay, I have to run immediately. So there's all of these overlapping lightning bolts, but I managed to thread my way through. Boom. And what do I find on 6-3? It's a dark level. So I missed the message at the bottom. That's crucial. That's going to come into play in about 30 seconds time. But I mean, I barely know what is on this world anyway, so having to do it in the dark is massive. So I descend to spin my last bomb on the left here. But after I do that, I realize, oh, this says Madame's here, and I think there's like a casino or something. And as I press right button, I see the message that says, sorry, you're not on the list. And I realize the run's over at that point. And sure enough, I get out and I get knocked under and crushed. But it was a pretty good run. I really enjoyed it. There were lots of like close shaves and it felt like real Spelunky 2 goodness. So hopefully we can have more like that soon.